Well, the big breaking news on the explosive exclusive, viewers, is that there is video vindication for the Hindu side. At least that's what they are claiming. Watch the latest unseen dimension to this entire saga unfold on your screens as Times Now accesses 3 new videos that stir the debate around the Gyanvapi issue. Well, the Gyanvapi issue is not just restricted to a legal one, but also one of Astha belief. At the center of the Hindu side's contention lies their conviction that the structure found in the masjid's wazukhana is an age-old Shivling. This claim by the Mandir side gets stronger with 3 latest videos Times Now has managed to access of the current-day Kashi Vishwanath complex. And those videos are on your screens, viewers. On the left of your screens, this video begins with a shot of the Nandi bull. You can see that Nandi bull right behind a caged enclosure. The bull is looking in the direction of the structure claimed to be a Shivling. Let's keep those visuals on the screen. Let's keep the opening visuals on the screen and have a look. So what you're seeing, viewers, is in journalistic filming parlance called a tracking shot. So the shot begins with the camera on the Nandi bull that is facing this particular complex, the Gyanvapi Mosque complex. But in specific, if you track the gaze of Nandi bull, it leads straight to the wazukhana, and in particular to that structure in the middle of the wazukhana that the Hindu side claims is a Shivling, but the mosque management and other Muslims are claiming is actually a fountain. But right in front of Nandi is also a fence, viewers. And you see that fence, it's blocking his view of his Lord. The Mandir side demands that this divar, this cage between Nandi and his Lord, must be raised, must be pulled down. Now remember, the main argument being furthered to the claim that this is a Shivling is that a Nandi always faces Lord Shiva's statue or anything that is symbolic of the Lord himself. Now see a comparison between the Nandi and Shivling as it exists in the most famous Shiva temple in India, the Mahadev temple in Ujjain. See how the Shivling there is in the direct line of sight of the Nandi statue. You can see that to the left, viewers. There's no ambiguity. Exactly how it exists in Gyanvapi, the faithful would tell you that. The Nandi and what's being claimed as a Shivling in Gyanvapi. This is a report our colleague Ravikant gets from Ujjain. Listen in very carefully.
भगवान शिव का मंदिर है, आप शिवलिंग को देख पा रहे हैं और शिवलिंग से यहाँ की जो दूरी है वो भी आपको दिखाते हैं। ये नंदी भगवान जो है भगवान शंकर की तरफ जो है मुख करके इनका चेहरा होता है और ये दूरी जो है महज 2 से 4 फीट या मैक्सिमम 5 फीट की है इस मंदिर में, क्योंकि ये मंदिर जो है छोटा मंदिर है और इसका क्षेत्रफल बहुत कम है। और ये जानने के लिए कि क्या हर मंदिर में कोई दूरी निर्धारित की जाती है या नहीं, हमने यहाँ पर जो पंडित मौजूद हैं उनसे बातचीत की और उनसे पूछा कि आखिरकार ये दूरी जो है क्या फिक्स होती है या अलग अलग मंदिरों में दूरी अलग अलग होती है। तो साफ तौर पर जो पुराण में जिक्र नहीं है इस बात का, जो पंडित हैं वो ये बताते हैं कि दूरी जो है मंदिर के आकार क्षेत्रफल के आधार पर तय की जाती है। बड़ा मंदिर होता है तो शिवलिंग बड़ा होता है, नंदी का आकार बड़ा होता है।
Now we'll explain how architecturally the Nandi statue can be seen facing the direction of the structure which is claimed to be a Shivling. Times Now gets you an aerial view of the Kashi Vishwanath complex where you can clearly see the 40-foot distance between the Nandi and the Shivling being blocked as claimed by a barrier. This is the fence which allegedly blocks Nandi's view of Lord Shiva, and I want to go straight across to Meghna Deka for more on this. Meghna, over to you.
Well, thank you, Rahul. There is absolutely no ambiguity. What we are doing here on Times Now, getting you facts as they stand as per the drone shots. This is the entire Gyanvapi complex that we are getting for you. On one corner of it is Nandi. This is the part where there is Nandi, and this is the older temple complex as it stands today. On the other side of the complex is where the present mosque complex stands, and directly in the line of Nandi, this is Nandi, and directly in his line of sight, and there's no ambiguity about it, it's not even disputed that Nandi is facing in this direction, which looks directly at the Wuzu Khana. Now, inside Wuzu Khana is that structure which the Hindu side claims is none other than the remnants of an ancient Shivling that Nandi is facing. This is the aerial route, and the distance between this Nandi statue and the Wuzu Khana is roughly, Rahul, comes to about 40 feet, and we've spoken to several of the experts whose expertise lies in ancient as well as medieval Indian architecture. They say that in temple architecture, the distance between the Nandi and the Shivling, which is there in several of these temples, may vary depending on the size of the temple complex.
So this is very interesting. The crux of the mandir side, as we have been saying, their contention is that the structure discovered in the survey is actually a Shivling in the center of the Wuzu Khana. However, the masjid side claims that it isn't, that it's a fountain. It has always been a fountain, part of the Wuzu Khana. Now let's take a look at mosque architecture across India to see if there are any similarities between fountains there and the structure found in Gyanvapi. And once again, I'm going to go back to Meghna Deka on this. Meghna.
Well, Rahul, this is of course something that the courts are going to decide. However, what we can do for our viewers, I put these pictures on two sides of your screens just so that our viewers can compare for themselves. This is the fountain which is there in the very famous Jama Masjid. It was of course built by Shah Jahan. As you can see, the shape of the fountain, it's got beautiful carvings around it, and that is where it spouts out water. This is the fountain which is there in the Wuzu Khana of the Jama Masjid, which was built in medieval Indian history. In fact, this is the so-called fountain in the Wuzu Khana, which is there in Gyanvapi Mosque complex. However, the Hindu side has claimed that you can see how this doesn't really resemble much of a fountain. This is, of course, the claim which is being put forth by the Hindu petitioners, that this structure resembles that of a Shivling. The second one is that of a Nakota mosque, and here you can see in this mosque you have someone who's performing wuzu, and this is another ornate kind of a fountain which is built right in this corner of the Wuzu Khana. However, again, if we look at it, it looks relatively different architecturally when it comes to the one which is there in Gyanvapi. In Ajmer Sharif, of course, built by Moinuddin Chishti, you have a beautiful ornate, and there's a vertical fountain which is around the Wuzu Khana. Again, it looks quite different from the one which has been found there in the Gyanvapi complex.
Well, viewers, here architecturally, of course, massive difference. But again, it's for the court to decide, viewers. We are not proclaiming anything. The Hindu side is saying that what they have seen, they're convinced of. Baba Mil Gaye was the loud call that went out. And it is for that reason that the petitioners now want this cage, the barrier, the wall, the diwar, call it what you want to, removed between Nandi and the object of his devotion, which is Lord Shiva. Listen in.
कुछ विकृत रूप वहां दिख रहा है, लेकिन वो मूल रूप से शिवलिंग है, और ये फुहारा इत्यादि ये सब कहना जो है बकवास की बातें हैं। और दूसरी बात मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं, जब भगवान शिव प्रकट हो गए हैं तो जितने भी सनातन धर्मावलंबी है, और ट्रस्ट से भी मैं बात किया हूं कि हम लोग माननीय न्यायालय के पास चलें और उनसे कहें भगवान के विग्रह का बिना पूजन और भोग के एक दिन भी नहीं रहना चाहिए। तो हमको वहां कोई ना कोई उधर से दरवाजा खोल करके वहां भोग लगाने की, पूजा करने की अनुमति बिल्कुल अनुमति, इसका कल्याण नहीं होगा।
बाबा मिले और बाबा के बिना शक्ति अधूरी है, शक्ति के बिना बाबा अधूरे हैं, क्योंकि माँ का पूरा परिवार है। अगर एक घर बनता है, एक परिवार बनता है, तो उसका पूरा परिवार होता है। साक्षात सारे पूरे परिवार निकलता चला जा रहा है, तो हम लोग पूरे परिवार की मांग की है।
जो हम लोग के शिवलिंग मिले हैं वो जो है कि उसमें बहुत मलबा है, वहाँ
पे हम लोगों ने करने के लिए मना किया है। वहाँ मछलियाँ हैं, वो रहे वो जीव है, लेकिन वहाँ पे वजू नहीं करना है।
Well, let's go straight across to our guests, because this is the demand that is being raised. It's obviously being objected to by the Muslim side. They are saying that the 1991 Places of Worship Act stands in the way. You cannot go ahead with this survey or even an excavation, because it would amount to changing the nature of the place of worship. But given what we've seen, is an excavation inevitable? That's the fundamental question. Mr. Sriram, what do you believe? Mateen Sharif, senior leader of the Congress, what do you believe? Let me come out to you, Mateen Sharif first. Mateen Sharif, what do you believe?
But last 10 minutes, you are explaining.
Okay, we are having a few problems, sir. We are having a few problems with your audio. So if you just fix it, I think there might be some disturbance. It's a distorted voice. But let me bring in Advocate Talha Rashadi, spokesperson of the Rashtriya Ulema Council. Advocate साहब, हिंदू साइड कहती है कि सर्वे तो आप छोड़ ही दीजिए, हमें तो एक्सकवेशन भी करवानी पड़ेगी, क्योंकि यहाँ पर जो स्ट्रक्चर हमें दिखा है, जो मिला है, उसका रहस्य बेसमेंट तक जाता है।
राहुल जी, झूठ ही रहेगा, ये अलग बात है, चाहे उसे 100 बार बोला जाए, चाहे जितना चिल्लाकर बोला जाए, चाहे जितनी तेज बोला जाए। आप ये जान लीजिए कि वहां पे ज्ञानवापी मस्जिद थी, है और रहेगी। उसको गैर कानूनी तरीके से कोई कुछ भी कहे, अभी कोर्ट में है, मैटर सब जुडिस है, अभी सुप्रीम कोर्ट में भी है, उसके बाद डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट में चल रहा है। सबसे पहली बात जो हमें समझने की यहाँ पर है कि डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट जिसने इस पूरे मामले को देखा, प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट 1991 के तहत जो प्लेंटिफ की जो पिटीशन थी वो एंटरटेन ही नहीं होनी चाहिए थी। तो ये पूरा मुकदमा ही इनवैलिड है, ये एक्सेप्टेबल ही नहीं था, ये मुकदमा खुद ही इलीगल और इनवैलिड है, इसे पहली सुनवाई में खारिज हो जाना चाहिए था। उसके बाद इस पे जो ऑर्डर हुआ, सर्वे का कमीशन जो हुआ, वो खुद इनवैलिड है। उसके बाद जो बात हो रही है, कमीशन की रिपोर्ट सबमिट नहीं हुई, ऑफिशियल कोई डॉक्यूमेंट्स आए नहीं, उसका एनालिसिस नहीं हुआ, उसका अध्ययन नहीं हुआ, विश्लेषण नहीं हुआ।
नहीं, वो तो ठीक है।
जो है, एक मिनट, जो प्लेंटिफ है उसके कहने पे उसने कहा कि यहाँ पर शिवलिंग है, उसके कहने पर जो न्यायाधीश महोदय थे उन्होंने उसकी बात मान ली, एक्स पार्टी मानी, दूसरे पक्ष का उसकी आपत्ति को सुना भी नहीं, एक्स पार्टी ऑर्डर कर दिया, वहां पे सील कर दिया प्रीमाइसेस को। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कल उनके ऑर्डर को,
अगर आप मुझे इजाजत दें तो मैं आपसे एक फॉलो अप क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहता हूं। आप अगर देखिए, हिंदू साइड कहता है कि ठीक है, आप नहीं मानते कि ये शिवलिंग है, कोई बात नहीं, हम इसको फर्दर इन्वेस्टिगेट करवाएंगे। मगर मुस्लिम साइड है, मस्जिद साइड है, आप जो भी कह लें, वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाते हैं और वो कहते हैं कि इस पूरे सर्वे पे रोक ही लगाइए। अब क्या इसमें दो राय है कि जो ज्ञानवापी मस्जिद है वो एक मंदिर पे बना है, इसमें आपको कोई डाउट है या उसमें भी आपको डाउट है?
इसका सबूत किसके पास है? किसने आपसे कहा?
वो तो दिख रहा है।
यही है ना, कहाँ दिख रहा है? किसके पास सबूत है? आप कह रहे हो वो शिवलिंग है, मस्जिद साइड कह रही है कि वो
आपने दीवार नहीं देखी है।
ब्रोकन फाउंटेन, इट्स अ ब्रोकन फाउंटेन।
एडवोकेट साहब, आप सिर्फ ब्रोकन फाउंटेन, ठीक है, मेरी बात तो सुनिए आप।
विद टाइम्स नाउ ये प्रोपेगेंडा क्यों रन कर रहा है कि न्यू वीडियो प्रूफ हैज बीन फाउंड? आप ये हैशटैग क्यों रन कर रहे हैं कि नंदी के महादेव? Why are you influencing the opinion of the public? Why are you influencing the opinion of the court indirectly? क्या आप एक पब्लिक कॉन्शियस
एडवोकेट रशीदी साहब,
ओपिनियन चेंज करना है? You should be neutral.
Okay, one second. Advocate Rashadi साहब, advocate, you are an advocate first. You should also be neutral and you should also be respectful of the facts. So let me just quickly remind you of something. देखिए, आप बहस करेंगे तो फिर बोलने की इजाजत नहीं देंगे तो फिर फायदा क्या है?
Please go ahead.
देखिए, now Advocate Rashadi साहब, there are two issues here, and let's try to accept these two issues. We may agree to disagree on the degree. Okay? Now you are fixated on the Shivling, right? You are fixated on the Shivling. आप शिवलिंग पे फोकस कर रहे हैं। अभी थोड़ा शिवलिंग को एक साइड पे रखिए 2 सेकंड के लिए। नाउ लेट मी आस्क यू मोर बेसिक क्वेश्चन. Do you believe that the Gyanvapi Mosque has been built on a demolished Hindu temple, Visheshwara temple. And if you don't, can you explain how we have motifs? You have lotuses, you have murtis of Hindu deities on the wall. तो how does this happen? ये जरा समझाइए. वो विजिबल हैं. आप शिवलिंग छोड़ दीजिए 2 मिनट के लिए. दूसरी चीजें विजिबल हैं. क्या आप डिनाई करेंगे कि औरंगजेब ने ये तोड़ा था हिंदू मंदिर? ये भी डिनाई करेंगे. और अगर आप उसको डिनाई करते हैं, फिर आपका रिजर्वेशन राइट है कि नंदी के जो हमने हैशटैग दिया है, जो आप देख रहे हैं स्क्रीन पे, नंदी के महादेव, वो गलत है. मगर अगर आप कबूल करेंगे कि भाई हाँ, औरंगजेब ने एक हिंदू मंदिर जिसमें एक ज्योतिर्लिंग था उसको तोड़ा और उसके ऊपर एक मॉस्क बनाया, तो फिर आपको कोई आपत्ति नहीं होनी चाहिए हैशटैग.
सर मेरा यस, नाउ लेट मी प्लीज रिस्पॉन्ड. मेरा ऑब्जेक्शन यहाँ पे ये है कि हिस्ट्री में पास्ट में क्या हुआ, नो वन हैज एनी प्रूफ ऑफ दैट. औरंगजेब रहमतुल्लाह अलैह ने उस मस्जिद को तोड़ा कि नहीं तोड़ा, नो वन नोज दैट. आप और मैं वहां मौजूद नहीं थे. यू कैन नॉट अनडू हिस्ट्री.
सलमान खुर्शीद ने अपने किताब में लिखा है, और मैं आपको बताऊं, शुड आई कोट? नो, नाउ लेट मी टेल यू द फैक्ट्स. ये आप गलत कह रहे हैं. जब ये डिबेट थी 1991 एक्ट में, एक्ट पर पार्लियामेंट में, तो मणिशंकर अय्यर ने खुद ही कबूल किया और उन्होंने बताया कि ये जो टेंपल और मंदिर जो जुड़े हुए हैं, क्योंकि मॉस्क टेंपल पे बनाया गया, वो गंगा जमुना तहजीब का एक एग्जाम्पल है. इट्स एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ गंगा जमुनी तहजीब.
एग्जैक्टली दैट इज व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से.
नो, तो आप तो डिनाई कर रहे हैं कि देयर हैज बीन अ डेमोलिशन.
हिंदू और मस्जिद, मंदिर और मस्जिद जुड़े हुए हैं, एक ही दीवार मंदिर.
नहीं सर, जुड़े नहीं है, तोड़े गए हैं. वो तो सबने कबूल किया है, बड़े बड़े आलाओं ने कबूल किया है.
वो इज मणिशंकर अय्यर. आप अगर देखिए, जो हिस्टोरिकल फैक्ट्स मेरे पास हैं, वो ये बताते हैं कि अकबर के जमाने की मस्जिद है. अकबर के जमाने की मस्जिद. तब तो औरंगजेब पैदा भी नहीं हुए थे. औरंगजेब के दादा थे अकबर. ज्ञानवापी मस्जिद का पास जो हिस्ट्री आती है वो अकबर के जमाने के साथ आती. बहुत सी
देखिए, अब आप एडवोकेट साहब, अब देखिए एडवोकेट साहब, देखिए मैं आपसे इस बात पे अब क्या बहस करूं. इफ यू वांट टू डिनाई हिस्ट्री आउट ऑफ हैंड, you are.
I am saying there are different point of view.
There is no point of view. There is no debate on this. There is no debate on this. In Mathura, the temple was destroyed. There is physical, visible evidence. You don't even need to excavate. Anyhow, we have also heard from Advocate Talha Rashadi today.
We have to talk about law. India is the world's largest democracy, where the law is supreme or the Asta is supreme.
That the courts will decide, sir. Not you, not me. Not you or not me.
Then why are you running a hashtag saying Nandi के महादेव?
तो किसके महादेव हैं जी वो? नंदी के महादेव नहीं है. उससे आपको क्या आपत्ति हो सकती है? Nandi is a, because I'll tell you why, if you allow me to speak. Nandi is the #1 bhakt of Lord Shiva. What is wrong with that? Whose Mahadev will he be?
I have all due respect for that.
So then, how can you debate this? Are you going to now say that Hindus believe that Nandi is the #1 bhakt of Mahadev are wrong? That they're spreading fake news?
When a matter is sub judice.
No, are you such what is sub judice about this?
Well, this matter, the Gyanvapi matter is sub judice.
Nandi ke Mahadev, it's a, what is the dispute on this? Where is the dispute on this?
Video proof of Shivling. What do you mean by a new video proof of Shivling? What do you mean by that? What do you want to portray by that? What is the message that you want to send across to the whole Indians watching Times Now? That Times Now is partying with, Times Now is prejudiced, and it is on the side of the Hindu.
Can I explain to you, Advocate Saab? If you allow me 30 seconds, I'll explain even that to you. You have now changed the topic twice when I tried to point out certain facts. You have now changed the angle. Fair enough. If you look at the top line, the word proof is in single inverted commas. It's an attribution to what the Hindus are claiming. Am I not even supposed to say that anymore?
So now you want me to read between the lines?
There is nothing reading to between the lines. I've not hidden any line from you. The new video proof, it's in quotes. It's an attribution. Even the word Shivling is in quotes. So please understand grammar. Please understand grammar and don't tell me how I must do my job. We are very responsible here.
I do understand grammar.
And I am even saying that the Hindu side is claiming vindication. Claiming. So where is the... I don't understand.
Why don't you...
On grammar you're wrong. On historic facts you're wrong. And now you're mocking the belief of Hindus who believe that Nandi is the number one Bhakt of Mahadev. Anyhow. Okay.
You are mocking the code of the country. You are mocking the law.
Okay, sir. The courts can look after themselves. They will look after themselves. Anyhow, Charu Pragya, could you please respond to Advocate Talha Rashadi, who says you're spreading fake news and that the media is also co-opted? I have answered him on that, but you're spreading fake news. You are creating a hype around something that is nothing except a fountain. So please respond. Charu Pragya.
So, Rahul, I want to respectfully tell my co-panelists that this case would not have been filed if the nature of worship at this temple had not been changed, at this mosque had not been changed. Up till 1992, every single day, women offered puja, devotees offered puja to Shringar Gauri Ma. Why was it stopped in 92? After that, you have allowed it only once a year. So, technically, if you want to quote the Places of Worship Act at me, I want to remind you that you changed the essence of prayers offered at this place. That's the first thing. The second thing is, why are you stalling a survey? If you're unafraid of the truth coming out, do not stall the survey. Let it go on. Because the best thing the Supreme Court currently has done is that they have protected the rights of both the sides. So the Supreme Court is being very neutral, very fair, let me tell you. They have only said, wazu wahan par mat kariye, aap namaz pad sakte hain. So why are you creating a big hue and cry? You are creating division in society for something which is in black and white for the world to see, something which is in public domain.
Rahul, can I come in?
Yes.
Do you want to address the reason why
Rahul,
you stopped the prayers from being offered there since 92? If you can allow it once a year, what will change drastically if you allow it every day?
Yeah.
Yes, please, let me respond to that. The prayers were not stopped by the masjid committee or by us, that you call. The prayers were stopped by the administration and the government. You need to ask for the answer to that.
Right.
Government.
You see, viewers, it comes down to being generous and being generous. But there is no generosity. Nonetheless, let me bring in S. Sri Ram and Mateen Sharif. Let's open this up. There are other speakers also.
Yeah.
Let's not dominate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rahul, across South India, for all the people who are, panelists across South India, normally the Nandi looks in the direction of Lord Shiv. They can come over and see any of the largest temples, the bigger the Nandi, the distance can be from the Lord Shiva. But there can never be a Nandi without overlooking a Lord Shiva. So this is a clear giveaway that there is a Shivling and this was stalled or this was probably hid for a long, long time. And I have not heard a mosque in the name of Gyanvapi. I mean, when you say it's a knowledge...
Okay, we've lost you. Have you put yourself on mute by some chance? I think we've lost you, Mr. Sriram.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So the name by itself is quite strange for a mosque. When we say Gyanvapi, the Vapi is well and it is knowledge. And it is believed that this well was created by Lord Ishana even before Ma Ganga came into existence in India. So there is a lot of sanctity and sacred, association which was being denied for all these years. And our Muslim friends should really realize this, and it is a clear-cut demolition of a temple on which the mosque is being built. So they quite honestly have to agree for a survey to understand what the truth is.
Mr. Sharif, how do you respond to the political analyst, Mr. S. Sriram? Go ahead.
Sir,
and thankful you. Can I have to speak in English or Hindi?
Whatever you are comfortable with, sir.
Okay, सर मैं इसके लिए 1 मिनट आपसे मैं विदाउट स्टॉप मैं आपसे टाइम लेना चाहूंगा. 1 मिनट में मैं इसका मैटर पूरा आपको एक्सप्लेन करना, मेरा ओपिनियन रखना चाहूंगा मैं. ओके सर
जी.
लास्ट वीक मेरे 6 ईयर ओल्ड डॉटर की तबीयत उनकी ठीक नहीं थी, उनको फीवर था. ओके, तो मैं उनको हॉस्पिटल लेके गया. जब हॉस्पिटल लेके जाने के बाद डॉक्टर साहब ने उनका 3 डेज से फीवर कम नहीं होने का रीजन बताकर मेरे को बोले कि इनका ब्लड टेस्ट करना पड़ेगा. तो जब मैंने ओके बोलने के बाद वो नर्स को बोले कि इस बेबी का आप ब्लड निकालिए टेस्टिंग के लिए. तो जब नर्स उनका ब्लड निकाल रही थी तो उस वक्त डॉक्टर साहब मेरी लड़की को समझा रहे थे कि उसको कंफ्यूज कर रहे थे कि आपको मैं चॉकलेट दूंगा, आपको मैं क्रिकेट बैट दूंगा, ऐसा उसको आपको मैं आइसक्रीम खिलवाऊंगा. तो इस अंदाज में उसको ऐसा डॉक्टर साहब एक्सप्लेन कर रहे थे और उधर से नर्स मेरी लड़की का ब्लड निकाल रहे थे. तो ज्ञानवापी मस्जिद इशू इज सेम लाइक दिस सर. ओनली बीजेपी इज टेकिंग the blood of Indians and they are confusing to all Indians. Gyanvapi Masjid is the Shivling and Taj Mahal is the other thing. Qutub Minar is the different. This is only that BJP is taking the blood from the Indians and they are confusing. 200% I'm challenging this issue. Only Gyanvapi issue is like this.
So if you have so much of confidence, go for a survey. As simple as that.
Go for a blood test,
why
a
do you want
DNA
to deny a survey?
Go for Gyanvapi DNA test. That is what Mr. Sriram is trying to say. Anyhow, viewers, you've heard a large number of opinions here. Some are denying the facts altogether as they have been historically established. Others are suggesting that this is a diversion. The BJP says, look, this is an important issue and that there is a degree of malevolence. Mr. Sriram says that investigation is required and excavation is important. I will take a short break. We are moving in on this, viewers. This story is getting bigger.